This video is about he was a maid until a businessman gave her a new house. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. He was a maid until a businessman gave her a new house. Part 1. The early morning light filtered gently through the thin curtains of a modest two-bedroom apartment, casting soft shadows on the walls adorned with remnants of a once lively family life. In the corner, a faded photograph of a little girl with bright eyes and a radiant smile caught the light, a reminder of dreams that felt distant. That girl was Sophia, now a 30-year-old maid. Sophia had learned from an early age that life was not kind. Raised by a single mother who worked multiple jobs just to keep food on the table, Sophia quickly understood the meaning of sacrifice. Her mother's hands, always callous and worn, told stories of long hours and unyielding resilience. But it was her mother's spirit that shaped Sophia. "Always be kind, my dear," her mother would say, her brow furrowed as she wiped her hands on a dish towel. "You never know what someone else is going through." Those words echoed in Sophia's mind as she hurried through her daily routine, getting ready for another long day of cleaning houses for wealthy clients. She dressed in her faded uniform, adjusting the collar while glancing at herself in a mirror. The reflection staring back was someone who wore the weight of the world, yet there was a spark in her eyes, a flicker of hope that refused to fade. The clock ticked relentlessly as she grabbed her cleaning supplies and stepped out into the bustling city. The streets were alive with people rushing to their destinations, each absorbed in their own lives. Sophia weaved through the crowd, her heart heavy but her spirit unwavering. Her first client, Mrs. Henderson, was a retired schoolteacher whose once vibrant home now felt like a museum of dust and memories. Mrs. Henderson had been a kind woman, often stopping to share stories of her past. Yet this day felt different. The warmth that usually filled the air was missing. "Good morning, Mrs. Henderson," Sophia greeted, forcing a smile. "Morning, dear," Mrs. Henderson replied, her voice lacking its usual enthusiasm. "I am afraid I've misplaced my favorite vase. It is probably around here somewhere." Sophia nodded, understanding the weight of loss. "Let us look for it together," she offered, knowing how memory could twist into an ache when something cherished was gone. As they searched, Sophia listened intently. Mrs. Henderson spoke of her late husband and the adventures they shared, each memory a testament to love and resilience. But as the conversation deepened, Sophia couldn't help but feel a twinge of envy. How wonderful it must be to have someone to share life's burdens with, she thought. The hours passed, and as Sophia left Mrs. Henderson's house, she felt an inexplicable sense of sadness. She loved her job and the connections she formed, yet the stark difference in their lives was sometimes overwhelming. Every apartment she cleaned, every mansion she dusted, reminded her of what she didn't have. That evening, she returned to her little apartment, greeted by the faint scent of the leftover pasta she had made the night before. She sat at the small dining table and ate alone, the darkness outside creeping in through the windows. After dinner, she pulled out her sketchbook, a treasured possession that had been her escape since childhood. As she traced the lines of a whimsical house with flowers blooming on the windowsills, her heart swelled with longing. She envisioned a place filled with laughter, love, and warmth, a stark contrast to the isolation that often consumed her. Days turned into weeks, and every morning began the same way. The routine was familiar yet suffocating. One morning, the city felt different, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. A large banner reading Businessman's Charity Initiative flapped in the wind as she walked to work. Curiosity piqued, she paused to read about the initiative, a project aimed at helping those in need, particularly low-income families struggling to make ends meet. Sophia felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps this would be a chance for someone like her to reconnect with the dreams that had been buried under the weight of reality. At work, she shared her thoughts with her colleague, Maria, who had become a dear friend over the years. "What if we could apply?" Sophia asked, her voice tinged with excitement. "Why not? It can't hurt to try," Maria encouraged, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "You have a good heart, Sophia. You deserve a chance." Encouraged by Maria's words, that night, Sophia sat down to fill out the application form. As she wrote, she poured her heart onto the pages, detailing her struggles, her dreams, and her unwavering belief in the power of kindness. Weeks passed, and the city buzzed with anticipation as the initiative's deadline approached. Sophia's life continued its familiar rhythm, but now there was a glimmer of hope illuminating her path. Every time she dusted a shelf or scrubbed a floor, her thoughts drifted to the possibility of a brighter future. Then, one fateful afternoon, her phone buzzed with an email notification. Heart racing, she opened it with trembling hands. The words congratulations leaped off the screen, and her breath caught in her throat. She had been selected as one of the recipients of the initiative. Tears filled her eyes as disbelief washed over her. Could this really be happening? The dreams of a home, a safe haven for herself, and a space filled with laughter were suddenly within reach. Over the next few weeks, the process was a whirlwind of paperwork, interviews, and planning. The businessman behind the initiative, a well-respected figure named Mr. Thompson, was a man renowned for his generosity. His vision was to uplift those who, like Sophia, had been dealt harsh cards in life. On the day of the groundbreaking ceremony for her new home, Sophia stood nervously among a small crowd of supporters and onlookers. The sun shone brightly, warming her skin as she looked at the empty lot that would soon transform into her sanctuary. Mr. Thompson approached her, a broad smile on his face. "Sophia, this is just the beginning. Your story is one of resilience, and we are honored to be part of it." His words filled her with warmth, igniting a spark of courage deep within. "Thank you for believing in me," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I promise to pay this kindness forward." As the first shovel struck the ground, applause erupted, and Sophia felt the swell of emotions, gratitude, hope, and the exhilarating possibility of a fresh start. The months that followed were a blend of joy and challenges. The construction of her home became a community effort, with neighbors coming together to help. Sophia found herself surrounded by kindness, and for the first time, she felt less alone. She volunteered at local shelters and participated in community events, keen on giving back. Every effort she made was a tribute to her mother's teachings about kindness and resilience. She began to understand that while life presented challenges, it was also filled with opportunities to uplift others. On the day she received the keys to her new home, Sophia stood at the threshold, her heart racing with emotion. The space was simple yet filled with potential. It symbolized renewed hope, a canvas where she could paint her dreams. As she stepped inside, she felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. This was not merely a house, it was a sanctuary where she could nurture the bonds she had forged and create new memories. The journey had only just begun, but Sophia's heart brimmed with hope. She had weathered storms, faced hardships, and emerged stronger. And now, with a home to call her own, she was ready to embrace the beauty of life's possibilities. In the coming chapters, she would learn that true resilience was not just about enduring, but about flourishing, and with every step forward, she would weave a story of inspiration for others who had forgotten how to dream. He was a maid until a businessman gave her a new house. Part 2. The first night in her new home was a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. Sophia lay in her bed, staring at the ceiling, the faint sound of the wind rustling through the trees outside. The walls felt like they were still adjusting to her presence, just as she was adjusting to the space that was finally hers. Just days before, she had been knee-deep in the hustle of her job, and now here she was, in a house that promised a new beginning. The memories of her mother's sacrifices bubbled to the surface as she thought about how hard they had both worked to reach this moment. Tears glistened in her eyes, but they were not born of sadness, they were tears of release, of gratitude. The next morning brought the gentle glow of dawn filtering through her kitchen window. Sophia stood by the stove, brewing coffee, the aroma filling her new space with warmth. She gazed out at the small backyard, imagining the garden she'd planned, a sanctuary for butterflies, and a burst of color that would surely make her heart sing. As the days turned into weeks, she set to work transforming her house into a home. Each room was a blank canvas, waiting for her touch. She spent hours painting and decorating, often losing herself in the process. Each brushstroke was a celebration of her newfound freedom, a declaration that she was indeed worthy of love and comfort. "Hey, Sophia." Maria called one afternoon as she strolled up the path laden with freshly baked cookies. "I brought goodies to celebrate your new home." Sophia opened the door wide, her smile brightening. "You know the way to my heart, Maria." They settled on the living room floor, a tapestry of paint cans and pillows scattered around them. As they shared cookies, laughter filled the air, weaving a tapestry of friendship that Sophia had longed for. "I've been thinking about how much we can do in this community," Sophia mused, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We could host gatherings, maybe a little neighborhood cleanup." Maria nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, and we can invite everyone. Your house can be the hub of kindness in the neighborhood." As the laughter echoed through the space, Sophia felt a sense of belonging that was profound. She realized this house was not just for her, it was a place where she could invite others, share stories, and help heal wounds through companionship. But as the weeks progressed, the reality of home ownership began to sink in. The excitement of the transformation soon met the weight of responsibilities. One evening, while attempting to fix a leaky faucet, Sophia found herself in over her head. Water sprayed wildly, and she squealed, scrambling to turn off the valve. "Okay, Sophia, focus," she murmured to herself. "You can do this." But after an hour of trial and error, she surrendered. "Okay, fine, I'll call a plumber," she groaned, realizing that some tasks were simply beyond her expertise. Embarrassment washed over her when she called a local plumber. "Hello, Mom, I am here to help," the voice on the other end reassured her. "We all have to start somewhere." That simple encouragement ignited a flicker of resilience within her. "You're right," she chuckled softly. "I'll give you a call when I am ready to tackle the next project." In her pursuit of building a community, she also faced challenges. One afternoon, while organizing a neighborhood cleanup event, she encountered an elderly man named Mr. Jenkins, who lived across the street. He seemed reluctant to join. "Come on, Mr. Jenkins, a little fresh air won't hurt," she coaxed, eyeing the large garbage bag he was struggling to lift. "I don't have the energy like I used to, dear," he sighed, his voice filled with a deep weariness. "My days of hard work are behind me." Sophia took a step closer, kneeling beside him. "I understand that life can feel heavy, but you've worked hard all your life, Mr. Jenkins. Just imagine how good it would feel to see your yard clean and bright again. We'll do it together." His gaze softened, and slowly, a smile broke through the lines of his face. "You know, I used to love gardening. If you help me clean up, I'll show you how to plant a few flowers." Sophia's heart warmed at the thought of forming a bond as she nodded fervently. "It's a deal." The cleanup event brought the neighborhood together in an unexpected way. Sophisticated disagreements melted into laughter, and shared stories replaced silence. People who had lived next door for years began to know each other's names. This flourishing community was a reflection of the kindness Sophia had wished to spread. But even amidst the growing connections, a shadow loomed over her. The reality of her financial situation had started to weigh heavily on her shoulders. The cost of maintaining a house combined with her maid's income felt like a relentless burden. One evening, sitting on her porch, she took a deep breath and let the worries wash over her. "You've faced challenges before," she whispered to herself, recalling her mother's words. "Just keep moving forward." It was during one of these moments of reflection that Sophia received an unexpected call from Mr. Thompson. "Hello, Sophia, I've been hearing wonderful things about the community you're rebuilding," he said, his tone warm and encouraging. "I'd love to meet up." The next afternoon, they met at a local cafe where the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Mr. Thompson arrived, his presence commanding yet approachable. "I admire what you are doing," he said, smiling genuinely. "Creating a community takes courage." Sophia felt a blush creep into her cheeks. "Thank you, but it is not just me. Everyone is contributing." He nodded, his eyes gleaming with admiration. "That is the beauty of it. I wanted to discuss the possibility of organizing a fundraiser to support your initiatives. We could provide grants to help neighbors improve their homes and gardens." Sophia's heart raced at the thought. "You do really do that? It could change so many lives." "Of course, your vision inspires me. You're not just building a home, you're recreating a legacy of kindness." Fundraiser turned into a vibrant event, drawing in people from all walks of life. Local businesses contributed food and services, and families flocked to support the cause. Sophia found herself at the center of it all, rallying volunteers and sharing her story. "Let us show everyone what kindness can do," she declared, her voice filled with passion. As the evening unfolded, laughter and music filled the air, but it was the sense of unity that created an unforgettable atmosphere. People danced, shared stories, and forged connections. For every penny raised, Sophia felt a surge of hope, believing in the power of community. With the funds raised, she saw dreams materialize around her. Neighbors repaired their homes, gardens blossomed, and the neighborhood transformed into a tapestry of hope and resilience. Yet amid the joy, Sophia still faced her inner battles. Some days, she felt overwhelmed, still haunted by the shadows of her past and the fear of losing everything again. On particularly hard days, she would sit with her sketchbook, pouring her emotions into drawings of homes filled with laughter and love, the homes she envisioned for others. One evening, as she sketched, Maria arrived and announced, "Hey, just checking on my favorite neighbor," she exclaimed. Sophia sighed, feeling the weight of the day crumple her spirit. "I am struggling, Maria. I want to help everyone, but I feel so small sometimes." Maria took a seat beside her, leaning in to listen. "Remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Just take one step at a time. You're already making a difference." In that moment, Sophia realized the power of kindness extended beyond grand gestures. It was in this simple act of showing up, of being present for one another. That realization sparked the fire within her, a reminder that change doesn't have to be monumental. It can be the sum of small, consistent acts of love. Months passed, and the neighborhood flourished. Sophia's house became a sanctuary of kindness, a place where neighbors gathered to share meals, laughter, and support. She hosted workshops for children and adults alike, teaching them how to create art, garden, and strengthen their community ties. One sunny Saturday afternoon, she stood on her front porch, watching children play in the yard, laughter ringing in the air. Her heart swelled as she marveled at how far they had all come together. Mr. Jenkins approached, leaning on his gardening tools. "You've done a wonderful job, Sophia. Look at what you've created." As they surveyed the blooming gardens and joyful faces, she felt the weight of her journey lift. "It's not just me, Mr. Jenkins. We've all come together." He nodded, his eyes twinkling with pride. "You've shown us that kindness is a powerful force. You've reminded us to believe in each other." Under the vast blue sky, surrounded by community and resilience, Sophia felt a sense of purpose illuminate her spirit. She had transformed her struggles into a foundation of hope, and she had turned her house into a home, a beacon for all those who had once felt lost. In every smile, every flower blooming, and every heart healed, she found the beauty of. She was a maid until a businessman gave her a new house. Part 3. As the days grew longer and the warmth of summer enveloped Sophia's neighborhood, the project she had started began to take root. Her little home was now a hub of activity, laughter, creativity, and a spirit of togetherness flowed through its walls. However, the journey had not been without its challenges. One afternoon, Sophia stood in her kitchen, lines of concern etching her brow. She was meticulously budgeting her income, calculating expenses, and trying to stretch every dollar, yet the reality of her financial situation loomed like a dark cloud. The mortgage payments, utilities, and unexpected maintenance repairs weighed heavily upon her. "Maybe I should get a second job," she murmured to herself, her heart sinking at the thought of giving up time spent nurturing her community. Just then, Maria breezed through the door, her arms filled with fresh produce from her garden. "Look what I brought you, my friend," she exclaimed, her face lighting up the room. "But wow, Maria, they're beautiful." Sophia's eyes sparkled as she examined the vibrant tomatoes and crisp cucumbers. "Let us whip up a salad, and while we cook, you can tell me what has been bothering you." Maria moved with purpose, washing the vegetables at the sink. Sophia hesitated, the weight of her worries pressing down on her. "It's just I am worried about finances. I want to keep this place going, but I might need to take on more work, and I don't want to sacrifice our community activities." Maria paused, considering her words carefully. "You know, I understand that feeling. I've been juggling 2 jobs for a while now, but maybe there is another way." Sophia raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What do you have in mind?" "Let us throw a community potluck. Everyone can contribute a dish, and we can invite local businesses to sponsor it. It'll create more connections and help us raise funds for community projects." Sophia's heart swelled with excitement at the idea. "That is brilliant, Maria. We can also set up a donation box for those who can give a little extra." As they brainstormed, Sophia felt a renewed sense of energy. The idea of fostering community spirit brought her hope and optimism. Her worries felt lighter. The evening of the potluck arrived, and Sophia's home buzzed with activity. Neighbors gathered in her backyard, bringing dishes that filled the air with mouth-watering aromas. Children darted around, giggling while adults exchanged stories and laughter. Sophia stepped back for a moment, marveling at the beauty of this gathering. "Isn't it incredible?" Maria whispered beside her, beaming with pride. "It is," Sophia replied, her heart swelling. "I never imagined my home could be the heart of something so beautiful." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the gathering, Sophia took to her makeshift stage, a small platform in her backyard. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice steady despite the flutter of nerves. "This is more than just a meal. It is a celebration of our community, of resilience and kindness." Applause erupted from the crowd, filling her with courage. "We've all faced challenges, but together we can create something amazing, something that lasts." As the night unfolded, friendships blossomed, and a sense of unity wrapped around them like a warm blanket. By the end of the evening, laughter mingled with the soft sounds of crickets chirping, and the donation box overflowed with contributions much more than Sophia had anticipated. With a full heart, she decided to take a leap and share her dreams. "I want to offer workshops here for anyone who wants to learn new skills: gardening, cooking, art. Together, we'll all nurture our talents and uplift one another." Encouragement erupted from the crowd, and Sophia felt the weight of her worries lift. This was her home, and she was no longer alone in her journey. However, challenges still ebbed and flowed. Despite the success of the potluck, the harsh truth of her financial situation came crashing back one gloomy afternoon. She returned home from work, her feet weary and her mind exhausted. As she unlocked her door, her heart sank at the sight of the utility bill glaring back at her. She sank onto her couch, holding her head in her hands. "What am I going to do?" she whispered, tears welling in her eyes. The dreams of workshops, community projects, and maintaining her home felt out of reach, as if they were just wisps of smoke. Moments later, a knock on the door jolted her from her thoughts. It was Mr. Jenkins holding a basket filled with fresh flowers from his garden. "Thought you might need a little pick-me-up," he said gently, placing the basket on her table. "Oh, Mr. Jenkins, thank you, they were beautiful." Sophia managed to smile, though sadness still lingered in her eyes. He took a seat across from her, his gaze steady and kind. "You seem troubled, my dear." "I am just overwhelmed," she admitted, her voice catching. "I want to help everyone, but I am struggling to keep everything afloat financially." Mr. Jenkins leaned forward. "You've done a wonderful job bringing this community together, but remember, it is okay to ask for help too." Sophia sighed, the vulnerability of the moment washing over her. "I don't want to be a burden." "You are not a burden, Sophia. You are a breath of fresh air in this neighborhood. If you don't take care of yourself, how can you help others?" His words resonated deeply. "I just wish I could find a way to keep this going while also providing for myself," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "Have you thought about seeking local grants for community initiatives? You've already created a foundation here that is worth investing in." Sophia's heart raced with the possibility of a solution. "I hadn't considered that," she said, her voice gaining strength. "Maybe I could reach out to Mr. Thompson for guidance. He might know of resources we can tap into." "Exactly. You've rebuilt something beautiful, and people want to support it. Don't be afraid to reach out for help." With Mr. Jenkins' words echoing in her mind, she felt renewed determination growing within her. The next morning, she prepared for a meeting with Mr. Thompson. She practiced her pitch, determined to explain her vision for the community workshops and the support needed to keep the momentum going. When she arrived at the cafe, she took a deep breath, her heart racing with anticipation. Mr. Thompson greeted her with a warm smile. "Sophia, it is so good to see you again. How have you been?" "Busy, but in a good way," she replied, feeling a sense of comfort in his presence. "I wanted to talk to you about some ideas I have for our community." As she shared her dreams of workshops and support for her neighbors, she watched Mr. Thompson's eyes sparkle with enthusiasm. "This is fantastic, Sophia. You've built a vibrant community." When she mentioned the financial hurdles, he listened intently. "I can help you connect with local organizations that provide grants for community-driven initiatives," he offered. "We need more people like you pouring kindness into the world." Tears of gratitude filled Sophia's eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Your support means the world to me." With his guidance, Sophia navigated the grant application process, pouring her heart into every word. The community rallied around her, sharing stories of how her efforts had impacted their lives. It was a testament to the beautiful relationship she had built, each person contributing their voice to the chorus of support. A few weeks later, the day of the grant announcement arrived. Sophia held her breath as she entered the local community center, where the results were to be revealed. Her heart raced as the organizers took to the stage, excitement buzzing in the air. The crowd erupted in applause when her initiative was announced as a recipient of the grant, and she felt the overwhelming rush of joy wash over her. It was more than just funding, it was validation of her dreams and the community she had nurtured. As she stepped onto the stage to accept the award, her voice trembled with emotion. "This is for all of us. We've rebuilt this community together, and this support will help us grow even more. Let us continue to uplift one another and create a brighter future." The audience erupted in cheers, and in that moment, Sophia realized the power of resilience. She had weathered storms, faced her fears, and emerged stronger. Her home had become a sanctuary, not just for her, but for everyone willing to embrace kindness and support one another. With the grant secured, workshops flourished, and neighbors continued to support one another. Sophia's home transformed into a haven of learning, laughter, and love, a true representation of the human spirit. In her journey, Sophia discovered that resilience was not just about enduring hardships, it was about reaching out, building connections, and embracing vulnerability. As she stood in her backyard surrounded by those she cherished, she felt the warmth of community, a reminder that no one had to face challenges alone. Here's to kindness, growth, and togetherness, she proclaimed, raising her glass amidst the joyful laughter of her neighbors. With the sun setting behind them, Sophia embraced the promise of a bright future, knowing that together they could weather any storm. Hash hash hash, she was a maid until a businessman gave her a new house part for. As the seasons shifted from the warmth of summer to the crispness of autumn, Sophia found herself reflecting on how much her life had changed. The vibrant colors of fall leaves painted the neighborhood in hues of gold and crimson, and her community thrived like never before. Workshops filled with laughter had become a staple in her home, but the reality of maintaining such a beautiful tapestry of life posed new challenges. One chilly evening, as Sophia prepared for the monthly community potluck, she felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. The kitchen was filled with the comforting aroma of simmering chili, but the nagging weight of her budget loomed overhead. If I could just stretch this month's grocery budget a little further, she whispered to herself, stirring the pot with a furrowed brow. Just then, a knock echoed through her home. Sophia, that is Maria, her friend called cheerfully, bursting into the warmth of the kitchen. I am here to help. What can I do? Sophia's heart lifted at the sight of her friend. Though, you're a lifesaver. Do you mind chopping vegetables? I am worried I won't have enough to feed everyone tonight, she admitted, her voice tinged with apprehension. Of course, you know I love chopping veggies, Maria replied, grabbing a cutting board with enthusiasm. As she worked, Maria glanced over at Sophia, who was trying to hide her worry. What is on your mind? You seem a bit off tonight. Sophia sighed deeply, her hands resting on the counter. It is just I am feeling the pressure of everything. The budget, the workshops, the house. It is starting to feel overwhelming. I want to keep this going, but I am afraid I'll drop the ball. Maria paused, her knife stilling as she considered her words. Sophia, she said gently, you've created something incredible here. It is okay to feel overwhelmed, but you don't have to carry this alone. We're all in this together. Sophia looked into her friend's eyes and saw the sincerity there. You're right, I just want to make sure I am giving my best to everyone. Your best is already shining through, believe me. Just take a breath, Maria encouraged, her smile warm and reassuring. Let us get through tonight, and then we can tackle whatever else is on our plate together. As they set the table, laughter and conversations filled the room. Neighbors arrived, each carrying a dish or a story to share. Sophia felt a sense of relief wash over her as the atmosphere transformed into one of warmth and support. Children darted around, their laughter infectious, while adults mingled and shared life updates. When the time came to gather everyone for a moment of gratitude, Sophia stood before her community, her heart swelling with appreciation. Thank you all for being here tonight. Every potluck we have reminds me of the strength we possess when we come together. Applause filled the room, and the energy was palpable. Tonight is not just about sharing a meal, it is about the connection we've rebuilt. I want this home to be a sanctuary for everyone to learn, grow, and support one another. Amid the smiles and cheers, Sophia felt a flicker of doubt rise within her. Would she be able to keep this going? The thought nagged at her, but as she looked around, she saw faces filled with hope and love. They believed in her, and together they could weather any storm. After the potluck, Sophia and Maria cleaned up side by side. Tonight was amazing. It felt like everyone really connected, Maria said, her eyes sparkling. Absolutely. I can't believe how far we've come, Sophia replied, a hint of pride creeping into her voice. But I still feel uncertain about the future. How can I continue to support the community while balancing my own finances? Maria placed a reassuring hand on Sophia's shoulder. Why don't we brainstorm some ideas? What about starting a small fundraising campaign? We could offer community classes and charge a small fee to help cover costs. Sophia's eyes lit up at the thought. That is a fantastic idea. We could teach cooking, gardening, even art classes. It could engage everyone while also bringing in some funds. Days passed as Sophia and Maria worked together to plan the campaign. They approached local businesses for sponsorships and organized classes that would not only serve the community, but also help alleviate some of Sophia's financial burdens. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and soon the workshops began to flourish. However, amidst the excitement, Sophia faced yet another challenge. She received an unexpected notification about the upcoming renewal of her mortgage, and the new terms were daunting. The burden of ensuring her home remained a sanctuary for others weighed heavily on her shoulders. One evening, she sat alone at the kitchen table, the papers spread out before her, feeling lost and overwhelmed. What am I going to do? She whispered into the emptiness of her home. The dream of nurturing her community felt at risk of slipping away. Just then, a gentle knock interrupted her thoughts. Sophia, are you in there? It was Mr. Jenkins, his voice a comforting balm. "I brought you some freshly baked bread, thought you might need a little sustenance." Sophia opened the door, grateful for his presence. "Mr. Jenkins, thank you. You always know when I need a pick-me-up." She gestured for him to enter, the aroma of the bread filling the room with warmth. As they settled at the table, she hesitated, unsure if she should share her worries. But something in Mr. Jenkins' kind eyes urged her to open up. "I've been struggling with my finances lately. The mortgage is due for renewal, and I am afraid I want to be able to keep my home." Mr. Jenkins listened intently, and then he leaned forward, concern etched on his face. "Sophia, you've done so much for this community, and it's a testament to your character. But remember, it is okay to ask for help. Have you considered reaching out to local organizations for advice?" Sophia's heart raced at the thought. "I hadn't thought of that. I just don't want to feel like a burden." "Trust me, you're not a burden. You're a beacon of hope for everyone here. There are resources in place to help people in situations like yours. You just need to reach out," he encouraged softly. With determination igniting her spirit, Sophia decided to take action. The next morning, she contacted local housing assistance organizations and scheduled meetings to explore her options. As she took the step, she felt a renewed sense of hope blossom within her. Perhaps there were paths she hadn't yet considered. Days turned into weeks, and with each meeting, Sophia gained knowledge about grants and programs available to homeowners. She assembled a plan, envisioning a future where her home remained a hub of kindness, a space where dreams could flourish. One crisp morning, as the sun cast a golden glow over her backyard, Sophia held a community meeting to share her newfound knowledge. Neighbors gathered, their faces filled with curiosity and support. "Today, I want to talk about something important," she began, her heart racing with excitement. "I've learned about resources that can help us all." As she shared her findings, the energy in the room shifted. Neighbors listened intently, their faces lighting up with hope. "We can work together to explore these options, and I want us to support one another in this journey," she continued, her voice steady and passionate. Mr. Jenkins stood up, a gleam in his eye. "This community thrives because of you, Sophia. We'll all rally together to help each other, just as you have helped us." With the newfound support of her community, Sophia felt a surge of strength. She had transformed her struggles into fuel for action, and together, they began to explore the possibilities. Workshops flourished and funds were raised, but more importantly, bonds deepened. Each person became a pillar of support for one another. As winter approached, the community gathered for a holiday celebration. Sophia decorated her home with twinkling lights and welcomed everyone in with open arms. "Tonight, we celebrate not just the holidays but the strength we've found together," she announced, her heart full as she surveyed the room filled with smiling faces. In the midst of laughter and joy, Mr. Jenkins approached her, a twinkle in his eye. "Sophia, you've truly created something remarkable here. Your resilience and spirit inspire us all." Tears brimmed in Sophia's eyes, the weight of gratitude filling her heart. "I couldn't have done it without all of you. This community is my lifeline, and I am so grateful for each of you." The celebration was a tapestry of love, laughter, and connection. In that moment, surrounded by the faces of those she cherished, Sophia realized that home was not merely a structure, it was the people within it, the love and resilience they shared, the kindness they extended, and the dreams they nurtured together. As the clock struck midnight and the festivities dwindled down, Sophia stood at her doorstep, looking out at the glimmering stars above. She felt a wave of contentment wash over her. Challenges would always be there, but so would the beauty of human spirit and the unwavering strength of community. From that night forward, Sophia embraced her journey with newfound clarity. She understood that resilience was not just about enduring hardships, but also about reaching out.